The time has come for 5 red lights. Three wide through turn 3. Oh, into the wall!
I knew this would happen. I knew they wanted to try something.
Ayamar have gotten their wish. A 1-2 for the team. Another victory for VNT to put the cherry on top of their dominance. Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to Competitive Speed Series. Not Seed Series, I'm not sure where that one was coming from, but I'm joined by Ollie for this one, round 4 of the current season. The first one on the console since the new year has ticked over. Ollie, welcome along. We've had 3 rounds. I know we've missed a few, unfortunately, but VNT lead the way in the standings. Let's I'll ramble on before properly introducing. Sorry. VNT leads the way, but Shizou Cedar Igniters, bearing in mind they've won 2 races this season, are second. Their second driver not pulling their weight currently. But anyway, welcome along, Ollie. How are you doing?
Yes, very good. Thank you for that warm welcome, Gareth. Yeah, nice to be back in the box for the first time in 26, isn't it? Here in, I know we'll talk about it shortly, in Spain. But it's yeah, it's good to be back. Good to be looking forward to get back involved with Formula 1 once again, and hopefully entertaining everyone who's listening and watching this evening. So
we are just having a quick lobby restart, so please bear with us for this one. But while we try and figure out, I think there was one of the settings that just off, unfortunately. But Ventauri leading the way as we've slowly mentioned. They've not won a race, but as a team and as a team event, they're doing it absolutely perfectly 3 rounds in.
Yeah, exactly. And we talk so much in comms about consistency in this league and how points can go all the way down to 15th, and it does really add up, doesn't it? And you know, that consistency, you know, 3 podiums from the first 3 races. Appreciate, you know, different drivers have got those, but that's helped. When you look at SCI, yes, they've got 2 wins, but then there's they've had a 0 point and a DNF, which, you know, that does add up. So consistency is key, as we've always said in this league, Gareth.
It certainly is. But something that we possibly haven't had in previous seasons is the teams that towards the bottom, they picked up points early. So you've got VMV there and IRT picking up more points than I think we've ever seen, especially in the console side of things, this early in a season, which is good to see as well. It means that maybe the competitive from other teams are starting to get themselves in there as well.
Yeah, and we want to see it competitively. We want to see everybody competing up and down. Maybe a Formula A and a Formula B type of thing, wasn't there, where we did have a bit of a gap, but this season's a lot closer, which is great to see. And again, we're still early doors, you know, round 4 of 15, and now everyone has scored points, which is great to see. You know, long may that continue.
Let's see. You managed a perfect segue in there with round 4 of this season. We've got our longest season to date, I believe, from our point of view in Competitive Speed Series, 15 rounds to get us to when hopefully well, not the new game, it will be an update to the current game for the new aspect of F1 26. But obviously, first round of the new year, which is round 4, Spain. Then we've got Azerbaijan, Abu Dhabi, Silverstone, Qatar, Singapore, China, Belgium, Mexico, Texas, Monza, and Vegas to finalise things here. It's a good set of tracks, really, isn't it, for all this?
Yeah, very much looking forward to, you know, we are not to be biased, but Silverstone is a fantastic track, Gareth, as we all know, as well as, you know, China's another one, Belgium, of course, and to finish in Vegas, which is maybe to watch in real life isn't so entertaining, but to witness in game can be very exciting. So to finish on that, and hopefully we have a run to the final with a couple of teams would be great to see. But we'll get there. It's still a long. Well, it's just shy of 3 months away, which is crazy to think. So plenty more racing to come.
Definitely crazy to think indeed. Let's talk about tonight's race then. Singapore, not Singapore, that's round 9. Spain, 14 corners here in Spain. It's more, we recognise it more as a test track, don't we? In F1, especially with that changes to the final chicane now. There's a little bit more racing and attackingness down that back straight. The back straight into the start finish straight into turn 1, which means a few more overtakes there. And if you get a poor grip out of turn 13, instead of being saved by the chicane a little bit, you're a little bit more of a sitting duck.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost one big corner in 12, 13, 14. It's so key to, like I said, not making mistakes through that section, because you will be pounced on very easily by a number of cars, because ultimately that's one of the main overtaking opportunities with DRS down that pit straight. So yeah, crucial. Then again, make sure you don't make a mistake through 7, 8 and 9, because again, the second DRS zone, plenty of places to make a move up into turn 10, which has been modified over the last couple of years as well, to make it easier to overtake and easier to negotiate. So it's again, more about consistency in this race, and hopefully we should see plenty of overtaking tonight.
Fingers crossed. We will do. And I think when we're thinking about overtakes, you can go into turn 4, turn 5. We've seen some dicey overtakes up the inside into that hairpin of turn 5, and then turn 10 and turn 1. That's the main points we see overtaking opportunities happening here in Catalonia. But I'm just trying to think where we go from a VNT and Shizou Cedar Igniter standpoint. They're leading the way, but OMB and FRT, and especially with FRT taking that victory last time out and a third place in Saudi, it means that they're a bit closer together than possibly Shizou Cedar Igniters would have liked, as the reigning champions.
Absolutely, yeah. It's surprising how close it is at the top. But you see VNT with 130, but there's 6, 7 points split in certain teams. It is still very close, but again, it's still very much early doors. We haven't really had you say, Suzuki's or Ignite. Yes, they've got 3 podiums in a row, but they're not. It's just the one driver doing that. If there was 2 of them, then it's a different story, then, isn't it? So I think it's anyone's game at the moment, Gareth. And again, I feel it's far too early to even talk about who we think is going to win the title in CSS. It's round 4. Can't be doing that, I don't think, just yet.
I think perfectly right with that. Let's go to the track. First driver on the track, and that is a Shizou Cedar Igniters driver of Silo. It is looking rather grey out on in Catalonia. Sun is still shining through though, so we may get a little bit of a sprinkle of rain. We'll have to wait and see. But let's just remind ourselves which team is in which car. The Shizou Cedar Igniter team are in the V-Carb, and Silo is showcasing that at the moment in the alternative livery, in that lovely pink V-Carb there for Shizou Cedar Igniters. Then you got RSC in the Mercedes, FRT in the Alpine, VNT, the current championship standing leaders in the Red Bull, VMV in the McLaren, ONB in the Williams, IRT in the Aston Martin, AERT in the Ferrari, AMS and Haas, and TRT in the Sauber. ART do have a penalty to their names. That's Adrian, unfortunately, picking up 8 penalty. ART picking up 8 penalty points for the season already, meaning that one of their drivers is going to have to bow out on this occasion for qualifying, which there could be worse tracks for it to happen on.
Yeah, definitely. If it was a street circuit, a different story, and ultimately it's going to be a long day out. But on a circuit like this, plenty of places to overtake, like we've already mentioned. Safety cars are a thing as well, and weather can play its part as well. So starting near the back isn't the end of the world at this circuit. But again, we'll see how they negotiate. Negotiate this undulated. Would you say undulating, Gareth? It is a bit of a bit of hill on this circuit, especially in that middle sector.
Yeah, it drops down, doesn't it? And into turn one, it goes downhill as well. It's a nice little. I think it's a. There's a reason why they choose it for testing, and I think it's got all the characteristics that they really need to test those cars. I know it sounds odd to do testing at a test track, but yeah, it's going well. I think for Silo. Let's move back onto the action on track. Silo coming around that final few corners. Very, very quick driver, possibly one of the quickest on console. Sets a 1:10 for the time being. Let's see who else can we go on board with. Simba Rocks one coming through down into turn 4, but we may have someone else on track a little bit further through. Ollie Hornby is going very, very slow in that third sector. They won't be setting a lap time through there. Shizou Cedar Igniters Justin in an Alpine, so that means they're racing not for Shizou at the moment. Coming across the line, setting a lap time of 1:11.282. So they've moved teams. Let's see. Let's go back to Simba Rocks one. What can they do as they are coming down into turn 10 and the final parts of the track? Let's see if they can keep this together. It looks a bit sketchy at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean it's the resurfacing of turn 10, and it's a lot wider now. You're not cutting back on yourself so much, but a little bit skittish through there. But turn 12 and 13, 13 and 14 was okay. But where are we? 1:11.5 for St. Broughton puts him into now 10th places. Someone else just jumped across the line. I think it was one of the Mercedes. But again, early doors, just get a lap in, Gareth. And track limits can be a thing here as well. We have seen people going too deep into turn 1 and 2, which can cause some problems. So want to keep an eye on as we progress through the session.
Nico Castronova then on a lap time, someone we've seen on the track a fair few times over the seasons here in competitive speed series. Seems to have found a bit of more pace of recent months, I suppose is the best way to describe it, and is coming across the line for the time being, but only managing P10, only just displacing Simba Rocks one for the time being, so a little bit of pressure on them. Vanna Spinoda up into 5th place. That's a good banker lap for them. Tech Brutal into 2nd place there in, oh goodness me, Tech Brutal. That's a name I haven't seen on this game for a little while. Good to see Tech back there. Let's see what VMV Indian can do. They're coming around the final few corners now.
Oh, there, sorry, at the very bottom of my list, but he pulls into the pits as there's a few other cars. But yeah, we've got Namsco. I think he may be on a lap. Gareth, he is still going full pedal, just slightly down on his lap time. They're just shy of 1/10 of a second as he comes into turn 5 and 6 downhill left-hander. Like you've said, Gareth, we do see sometimes overtaking through there, especially at the start of the Grand Prix when everyone is very bunched together, or maybe some mistakes from drivers as he hops and skips us over the curbs 7 and 8 before this fast turn 9 onto the second DRS straight. We'll see where he is as he comes across the sector time board now.
2.3 seconds down. They are definitely going to be off the pace, I think, this time around. OMB Ortiz then in 17th at the moment. Probably will be wanting a little bit quicker than that, so we'll have to wait and see how they will handle it. They're a good 1.3 seconds off the pace at the moment, but like you said a few moments ago, it's better sometimes to get a time on the board just so you get that pressure off of you.
Yeah, I mean, I hark back to my very short league racing career, Gareth, of getting at least one bank lap, even if I wasn't 85-90% pushing type of thing, just to get something on the board, because you don't know what happens in some sessions. I think someone's just left the session potentially, but yeah, it's always good to get something on the board just ready, knowing rain could hit, you could get held up by another driver. There's all sorts of things that can happen, so just to get one in is good, and I think everyone's done that other than Indian down in 20th, but I'm sure we'll see him out shortly, but just 2 cars or 3 cars on circuit now. Got a bit of a lull now, before we should see, hopefully, get another two laps from each driver this evening. We'll see whether Silo can be toppled from his provisional P1 with 10 minutes 15 left to go.
It's quite a hefty margin they've got to their name, as Tech is leaving the garage now as well. It was Ortiz that oddly left the session while I was on board with him, so it threw straight back to the pit garage, which was a very odd experience from my side. So not 100% sure. Hopefully they can get back in, but Max Bricker then just about to start a lap time for this one. They pulled well over to the right-hand side, so I doubt they will be starting a lap time. Is it going to be Callum? It will be. Callum looking very, very quick down there at the moment. Max is still heating up those tyres for the time being. Ollie Hornby in the chat saying opinions on the DNF. I didn't see it, but I did want a message to see how you lost it at turn 3. Was it a bit too much power down, or catching yourself on the red paint that just left you spinning? It would be nice to know what happened. Let us know in the chat if you can. And on that subject, chat, let us know who you think is going to take pole position tonight. Is it going to be Shizou? Is it going to be the Shizou team? Is it going to be Silo or Tech? Or is there anyone else going to throw themselves into the mix? As we've got Callum just going through turn 9 now. Ollie, I know we've got plenty of time left, but do you think Silo can be beaten?
I mean, he's got 2 tenths over the next drive at the moment, hasn't he? And we've seen some fantastic qualifying performances from Silo, as well as obviously race performances. So, well, difficult one. I think I predicted last time we did comms together in 2025 now, where I think he put it on pole. So yeah, I think currently his current trajectory, I think I have to agree with that. As Callum puts himself up to 8th, just over a 10th improvement from him. But yeah, for me at the moment, it's anything but Silo, you know.
It's Epic Vale. We know how quick they can be on their day as well. In 9th place now, part of the PGR team. Coming through the final 2 corners, what can they do? We've seen some incredible stuff from Epic Vale in the past, and across the line it's currently a 1:11.4. It's up to a 1:11.3 for Epic Vale. Tech Brutal, I believe, is well down on their time. They were not going to go any quicker on that one. Andrea up into 4th place. That's an interesting one to see up there as well. Ziawadi, I think we just set the lap time. I will find a driver who is coming through. Kevin Zunneberg is up by 0.2 of a second. That will put them, at the moment, on the doorstep of Tech Brutal and Justin.
Silo goes a 10th quicker than his previous lap time there, and the man who has been controlling this quality, Gareth, has made it even harder for everybody else. So as Kevin goes up into P3 with that lap time, so well done to him. As he just pulls over to the left and let a few, I think that's both the Shizou cars just running through there. So Tech now on a flying lap, will start his flying lap, so we'll see whether he can close that, what is that, almost roughly 3/10 down to his teammate.
Milan had a lovely tow from Kevin Zunneberg there. Ziawadi goes up into 3rd place, and that's a good lap time from Ziawadi for the time being. But Milan had that incredible tow from Kevin Zunneberg, and that's allowed an incredible improvement in the first sector alone. Let's see what the second sector does for Milan. It's still that same sector improvement, which should put them about 7th, 6th, maybe even a little bit further down. Now there's other times coming in. Gergo going into 3rd place with a 1:11.221, agonisingly close to Tech Brutal as we're coming around the final corner for Milan. And what are they going to be able to produce on this one? It's up into 2nd place with a 1:11.1, and Tech Brutal takes that straight back. But that's incredible lap time from the Williams driver.
Yeah, great lap time from him, and he'll be happy to get up in that position for OMB early doors. So yeah, and there's still plenty of time left. I've got a yellow flag on my screen, so I can't see exactly how long is left, Gareth, but so assuming it's 5 or 6 minutes, I should have enough time to get one more lap in before the end of the session. And just looking at it, obviously Justin's in 2nd now, but Silo dominating at the moment, and I can't can't see anyone beating him at the moment with the pace that he's currently got here in Catalonia.
It's a great bit of time from them as Andrea going into the pits as well. Who else do we have on board with? Lulu. I'm making a mistake into turn 1. I think that's their lap done though, as Alt is able to do a lap time this time around after an issue. They are up on their quicker on this sector 1, so that's good for them. Hopefully they don't disconnect this time around. Let's see how it will continue to fall for them as the lap continues to... And that's the other thing that we've got to remember is the track will continue to evolve and get better for these drivers.
Yeah, the track starts off quite green, and as drivers go round and round, more time gets put on the circuit, and it gets better and better for them. So, and that's why obviously we get so many drivers flying out last minute to try and get a lap time in the sessions, as you see in obviously real life as well. So we'll have a bit of a pause now as most people have done their lap times coming in, and then we'll have one final Ferrari with 4 minutes 30 left in the session. But coming round the final corner, Ortiz 1:12.9 at the moment. He jumps up into P7 with 11.2, so I'm sure he'll be happy with that, and a bit closer to his teammate as well in Milan with that. Just about half a tenth between them.
Yeah, let's... That was an incredible... I'm just trying to think. They were well off the pace in 1 and 2. Oh, well, they weren't well off the pace. They were the same time through sectors 1 and 2 pretty much, but they've increased incredibly through that last sector. So maybe a mistake through there will... on their first run, or maybe they're just wanting to just have that bit of a confidence boost on their middle run to allow them to get a quicker time. Unsure, but agonisingly close to Gergo. But yeah, the poll in the chat is asking whether the prediction time is going to be quicker or slower than a 1:10.810. Silo, they're agonisingly close for the time being, and we're saying about the track evolution. Currently a 1:10.854. Do you think they're going to be able to master that one?
Top of that time? I mean, you'd argue, does he need to, because he's got 2 tenths over Justin in second, another 10th then up to Tech. I mean, I think he can go quicker again, but it's just, does he need to go? Does he need to push that hard? Really, ultimately, if he does, if he were to crash, he'll still start in pole. But yeah, I don't know whether he needs to. Just on board with him now as he pops a curve for one more flying lap. But it's yeah, we'll see if he can. I think he probably can, but whether he needs to, we'll have to wait and see. No one near at the moment.
2.5 minutes of the session remaining, and well, Max Bricker is going to be the first of the drivers to set a lap time, or are they going to do another installation lap like we saw last time around? It looks like another installation lap. So let's go on board with Justin, currently second place in qualifying on 1:11.4. Are they going to break into the 1:10s? We'll have to wait and see as they head down the start-finish straight. DRS flap wide open. It's a Ferrari and a McLaren in the way as the McLaren nearly careers into the back of the Ferrari. A little bit of action in qualifying that we weren't expecting. But Justin then, turn 3, got to keep as tight as they can to the inside of that corner. I think they could have gone a bit quicker or a bit tighter through there, and they're slightly down in sector 1.
Yeah, just again, just it's subtle things coming through to 1 and 2 can really affect that, and we'll see this long turn 3, but we'll see whether he can improve that up the hill here. Tricky area because you can lose back in quite easily through 6 and 7 and up towards 8 and 9. Then almost foot is almost planted through that part of the circuit down towards turn 10, and then he's up on now on that lap time, just shy of a 10th through 10, 11 and 12. So a few cars in his way. Hopefully shouldn't have distracted him too much before it's almost flat out these final 2 corners. See whether Justin can improve his lap time. Hops wheel on the grass there. Hopefully that's not affected him too much. Across the line, and it is quicker, but not enough to see off Silo at the moment.
It's unfortunate for them as there goes Kevin Zinneberg into 3rd place through that. Let's go back to to Milan. Can they go quicker? And will probably go to their teammate very quickly afterwards. Oh no, they're just on a lap, so maybe it's one of the Red Bulls across the line. Milan won't go quicker. So which is the next driver? Is it Nico Castronovo? No. Well, I'm not sure 100%. Silo going into the pits. Silo will not be going quicker. They were up in that second sector as well. Tech Brutal then managing to get into the 110s, but only just, mind you. Fana Spinoda, where are you on track? Fana Spinoda might be able to creep ahead of Milan, who had that. That's Sauber into the wall there. That's not ideal, as Fana Spinoda then won't go quicker than Milan. That's unfortunate for them. Where is Gergo in all this? Gergo massively down on their lap time. I'm not sure if we're going to see anyone else across the line. Ziawadi not quicker on that time around of asking. Namsco, again, slower themselves. And Epic Vale, currently 12th and 13. Not an ideal start for those guys.
Not at all. No. It's a few drivers have dropped down, haven't they, significantly. I just saw a few drivers now getting into the 110s, Gareth. Again, not quick enough to challenge Silo. Ortiz crosses the line. He's up into P6 there, just jumping his teammate as well. And Milan, like I said, invalidated this lap time, so he'll be disappointed, and he pulls into the pit. I think that might be it, Gareth. I think that is qualifying over and done with.
I think that is it indeed. Namsco does manage to claim 9th place in all that as well, put themselves up a little bit, but Andrea getting into the 110s themselves, like you quite rightly mentioned, only 3 drivers going in, but they are. I mean, we've noticed, or we know Andrea is a quick driver, but that's good to see them up into the top 3, especially with the unfortunate thing of Callum going into the walls. I'm not sure at the start-finish straight. I'm not sure if they were going quicker or what, but unfortunately, the prediction of Silo going quicker than a 1:08.10 didn't happen, and I thought I was almost certain that was going to happen.
I think he was. He was, 400s quicker there, 300 quicker in sector 2. They decided not to finish his lap time there, so unfortunately Tyler wasn't prepared to entertain us till the very end there, Gareth. So, but ultimately he's nailed pole by 0.089 over his teammate there. So a Shazoo 1-2 to start off this qualifying.
Silo, Tech, Andrea, Justin, Kevin, Ortiz, Nico, Milan, Namsco, Fana Spinoda, Gergo, Ziawadi, Epic Vale, Max, Boya, Lulu, Indian, Callum, Simbarox 1, and Ollie unable to set a lap time because of his crashing out, and then Adrian not being able to set a lap time because of a qualifying ban for them. Let's have a look at the standings to see how things are going. While it's looking very sunny in Spain, that's a good thing for that one. But Venturi then leading the way by 25 points, which I know we mentioned earlier on. It's not that many in comparison to other leagues because of the points going down all the way to 15th place. So just to confirm, you P1 you get 35 points, P2 30, P3 26, 4th 23, P5 is 20, and then it goes down to P15 with 1, and the fastest lap and a pole position gets points as well. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it kind of forces drivers not to retire, and we've seen that in other leagues quite a few times.
Yeah, you see people who maybe got damage early on and have retired from the session, but ultimately you don't know what's going to happen later on. Like in Holland, we had rain. I don't think we had a safety car, did we? But things all changed. People made mistakes and of various different degrees, and people jumped up because they kept on going. And it's really important that you do, because you just don't know what happens. Like in any sport, Gareth, crazy things happen, and you've got to try and go as gut-wrenching as it is losing out early doors. You just got to keep going, and you don't know. Even that 1 or 2 points that you may get could be the will for that team later on in the season.
It certainly can, and it could be for VMV enough to to maybe displace IRT at the bottom of the standings if they were still there at the end of it. Where it's any points are vital. It's not just about the winners or the championship leaders or the champions. It can go into the middle pack, and the top 5 always seem to be a great. Well, the champion obviously gets an automatic entry into season 8, but yeah, interesting one nonetheless. A really interesting AMS and Tatum Restech, 6th and 7th. 1 point separating them. And 4 points further down is All Elite Racing Team as well. It just means that they're so close together as well. It adds a little bit extra spice. But if I was to ask you, well, I'm going to ask you now, who do you think is going to win this race? Is it going to be Silo? Is it the Shazoo Cedar Igniters team? Chat the questions for you guys as well. Let us know. Actually, we'll have to wait and see. The race is very, very shortly upon us. 5 red lights here in Catalonia, and away we go. Yeah, it's a very, very slow start. The lights seem to hold for ages, but Silo leads the way for the time being as they head on down towards turn 1. It looks very, very tight between the rest of the field, though. It looks like a big dive bomb from Williams in the background, but Justin and Kevin Zunneberg holding station at the moment. Is free wide nearly behind as Nico Castronovo getting attacked by Ortiz, and it's very, very tight, almost a Hamilton Rosberg-esque with a Mercedes of Namsco and Milan. It's all kicking off in the midfield here, Ollie.
Yeah, there's more contact between Namsco and Milan is all kicking off in this midfield, and someone going a bit for one of the other Williams drivers, but just about everyone is sneaking their way through the middle sector. There's a bit of contact there between a couple of drivers, and I think that's Ortiz making a mistake, and luckily his car is still pointing in the same direction, but it is chaos in this midfield right now, Gareth.
Yeah, it looks like Namsco and Ortiz maybe a mistake from one of them, a bit too much power, but my goodness me. Pretty much everyone on a set of medium compound tyres, apart from Callum, on this set of softs, and it's still battling away with Ortiz, and now Milan. The 2 Williams drivers really struggling, and this could open up a little bit of a DRS zone to go ahead. And there's a Callum off into the gravel in the background as well. It is really, really a bit hectic. New year, incredible racing.
Yeah, it is. As Gerber trying to make his way through past both the VNT drivers here, but can't get through just now. Fana just about keeping hold of P7, but yeah, hectic start. Andre didn't have the best start off the line, Gareth. Slow to start and cost him 3rd and 4th there, so he'd be again trying to get back into the groove of things and keeping up with both the Suzuki drivers and the FRT drivers there ahead of him.
The mid-pack is where all the action is kicking off, which is great to see. That we're not just solely focusing on the leaders, as Epic Fail has a little bit of a lunge up the inside of Ortiz. It's not really a lunge, it was a little bit of a half-hearted nose up the inside, but they could have left Indian a chance of an attack, but I think Indian's made a mistake through the exit of turn 12, which has allowed Epic Fail a little bit of a reprieve from that, as Ollie Hornby picking up a 3-second time penalty, currently in 20th place. That's not ideal for the AMS driver, as Silo setting the fastest lap of the race, which we kind of expected, leading this one. Let's go have a look at these two, because they're controlling it, and that's exactly what teams need to do, and maybe Shazoo Cedar Igniters haven't been able to do this season, but these two currently working in tandem.
Yeah, but at the same time, Gareth, neither have run away with it as of yet. It's only 6 tenths putting 1st and 2nd. That gap is creeping up between our race leader and Tech Proto in 2nd. Got to be careful not to lose his teammate here, otherwise he'll be a bit of a sitting duck for the rest of the fighting pack behind him. But Tech holding 2nd nicely at the moment. Not seeing too much overtaken other than on the start with the front runners. We've got 2 very pink RB cars, and then we've got another pink car. We've got 2 pink cars in the Alpine behind as well. But yeah, like I said, Andrea still not managing to close that gap enough to challenge Kevin at the moment. And like you said, guys, it's that midfield battle which is at the moment is more exciting. But we'll see as we progress onto lap 4 now whether we see any move down the pit straight.
Justin responding to the leaders with a little bit of a faster slap. Do they go to the inside into turn one? Has a quick look, but nothing doing on this occasion. And well, it shows how good the VNT team, the FRT and the Shazoo Cedar Igniters teams are, because in the top 7, there's both of their cars in the top 7. The TRT Andrea, though, well, wants to have a say in this race. Obviously qualified well. Start of the race was a bit poor, but they've kicked it up a notch now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they need to ultimately. Doing any points for qualifying is all down to this race. Yeah, crucial to try and hold your own throughout this race, and crucially, like we've already mentioned, just keep going. And regardless of where you finish, just keep on moving and try and hold where you are to gain points, because like we said, it goes down to 15th. But we'll see how we progress. Just coming to the end of lap 4 here. Not so much we're taking together since lap 1. It's been a bit of DRS train, but hopefully that will change shortly. It'll negotiate the final couple of corners as Salo starts to turn up the heat, as does Andrea in 5th place. So he's not waiting around, Gareth. He wants that podium place back from where he started. But again, just not close enough at the moment to the back of Kevin to make it a move into P4.
There's a break in the chain. Nico Castronovo now 2 seconds behind Andrea, which might allow a little bit of overtaking. Gergo is all over the back of Fana Spinoda into turn 1, and then is concentrating into turn 4. Has a little look up the inside of the VNT driver, but not happening on this occasion. And Gergo now under pressure from Milan, who goes and has a little look up the inside. So that break in that train is exactly what we needed for a little bit of action here in Spain. And, well, Andrea setting the fastest lap, I think, just shows that maybe they have a little bit more pace than Kevin Zunneberg ahead of them.
Yeah, as Ollie gets another 3-second penalty down in 20th, not the best after his mistake in quali, so he'd be trying to stay on the back of the train at the moment. But yeah, I think Andrea's got something maybe in the garage. He's not pulled out just yet, especially maybe when we go into the pit stops later on. But crucially, he needs to stay within that DRS window. He's 6/10 at the moment. Doesn't want to make the same mistake that Nico Casanova has done and falling out that DRS window now. There's 2 seconds between himself and P5.
And the good thing, I suppose, if you're a VNT fan and a Nico Castronova and Fana Spinoda fan, is that the fact that they are 6th and 7th respectively, and they can control that like they would control the lead of the race if that was the case. Well, you can see what Shazoo are doing up in 1st and 2nd place. They're just controlling the pace of the drivers behind them, and these guys can do the same for the battle for P6.
Exactly, yeah. As long as they work together, like I said, they can control it. But Fana Spinoda needs to stay within. It's a bit closer to his teammate, because Gergo is breathing down his neck, isn't he? You can see, and if you just look on the rear view on his car, the queue that is formed behind him is almost the rest of the grid, isn't it, from 7th all the way down to 20th. So any small mistake, and Fana Spinoda is in a bit of trouble, Gareth.
Certainly is indeed. Milan having a little look on Gergo. Gergo's probably going to be getting a hurry up from the AMS team to get past Fana Spinoda as quickly as possible. Let's see how close they get to the back end at turn 14 of the VNT driver. It's not as close as they probably would have liked, but it's closer than it was the lap before. But the DRS of Fana Spinoda is helping them just close the gap into turn 1, allowing them to keep position for the time being. But the grip that Gergo has over Fana Spinoda through turns 1 and 2 is so much better, but then the dirty air comes into effect, and that just drops Gergo back down a little bit, and it's costing them. They're going to have to try and move in a position that is uncharacteristic, I guess.
Oh, I think he looked through there, didn't he? Fana Spinoda came across quite late there to try and block off any move, and yeah, had to lift, didn't he, through turn 3, which cost him that gap, really, unfortunately. But yeah, with where Nico Cashnova is just allowing Fana Spinoda just to sit there nicely in the DRS and just wait it out. Like I said, I think Gergo's going to have to try something different to get by him. But once there's one overtake and it breaks this bit of chain that we've got at the moment forming behind Nico Cashnova, it's all going to kick off, I feel. once that does happen. But we'll see what happens to come on to the pit straight once again. I don't think, like I said, Gergo's going to have enough on Fan Espinosa. Goes wide, we're trying to cool the tide in a little bit. Like I said, get away from the dirty air, but again, it's not close enough. Late to the brakes as he possibly can, but not close enough. But again, he does get really close on the exit of 2. But again, but a snap of oversteer there is costing him a little bit of time.
Not ideal at all. It's now nearly 4 seconds between the leading train and the next one, and these guys possibly getting a little bit frustrated through all this. And you wonder, from a VNT standpoint, who do you pit first when it comes to the pit window? Because they're both on the same strategy. They're both going to want to pit pretty much the same lap. Do you pit Fan Espinosa first to ensure that they stay ahead of this train, and then maybe hold the drivers back up to allow Nico Castronovo to come back through? I know pit stops are a little bit far away, and here comes Milan having a little look up the inside of Gergo, but not on this occasion through it all. It's a nice little camera shot that we've got from the helicopter from my side. I'm not sure if you've got the same. And just in the background there, Epic Vale having a little sniff on Ortiz at the exit of turn 12. A little bit of a better run through. Let's go back to Fan Espinosa and see what's going there.
Yeah, again, I don't think we're going to see any moves here until we break this chain in some sort of way. I don't think everyone's going to be sitting back to back here because of how this train has formed here in Catalonia. Panis goes a little bit wide through 3, but not enough for Gergo to make a move at the moment. Does he have enough pace here to go around the outside? Oh, he almost had it there, Gad, but they always speak. But late lunge by Gergo. That is a bullying move down the inside through turn 5 then. Unfortunately, just not enough to get by him. That's Panis just about staying ahead, but that wasn't enough for the gap to increase. I don't think to break the chain of DS between the two VNT teammates. But Gergo, guys, obviously getting frustrated, being stuck behind this Red Bull.
Yeah, the VNT team are playing a perfect game of frustration. As just behind, Epic Vale tried Ortiz as well. I tried to move on Ortiz as well, but there's just nothing on this occasion for them. But Gergo, again, having to find an opportunity to frustrate maybe Fan Espinosa, maybe get under their skin a little bit to see if they'll make a mistake. I think that's possibly the best way to get an overtake done.
Oh, we've got a mistake from Callum, Gareth. Just looks like he's made a span on the final corner. He's got half a front wing, so keeps going thankfully. But yeah, Callum not doing the best on lap number 10. He didn't know if there was contact there, but he has lost 2 places, so keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Namsko's dropped to 18th as well, so Namsko's had a bit of a mare on this one, and they're starting to see some gaps form in the top. The top 5. They're elongating out. I know it's a bit of an odd one through all that, as the gap to 6th place is increased as well. It's increasing about 0.8 of a second a lap. So Nico Castronova and Fan Espinosa are may have to get a little bit of a hurry on if they ever want to get a podium in this race, but we'll have to wait and see how it will all pan down. No pits for those guys yet, as we will have to go back, see what Gergo can do this time around, because this is looking like where the action's going to be.
It looks like, yeah, he's the man who's closest to make a move. But we do have some pit stops on the beginning of lap 10 here. We've got 4 guys in Epic Vale, Indian. But back to Gergo, guys. Tried the outside line here through 2, but just not enough grip on the outside of the corner there to make that move. Got to be careful though, because any mistake, Milan is right there waiting to pounce. But again, just not close enough for Gergo on this occasion. But yeah, like I said, a few pit stops. Simrox 1 in as well. India and Ollie Holmby and Callum all in on this occasion. So we'll see if that triggers the guys ahead, because again, stuck in a bit of a queue. So will the undertake work for them, as Callum unfortunately tied for the session.
Epic Vale being the major one to do that undercut as well. That's an interesting. Let's see what the Epic Vale can do in the RSC team, because they've done a really good. Well, they were battling away with Ortiz for P10 and now could get into the swing of things here. Into the pits then. Tech is going to be the first driver in. Justin dropped outside of the DRS range. Silo, I think, has just been told, go and hit it. As into the pits is Gergo. Gergo wants a little bit of an undercut as well. So it is Nico Castronovo, as that's a big break and lock up into the pits for Gergo. That's going to see what they can do. Here comes then Epic Vale. Obviously, fresh tyres. They've only had one lap, half a lap on that. It's going to be one lap when they come across the start-finish straight. Are they going to be able to jump any of the cars ahead? Let's see as they go down the start-finish straight.
He's going to jump a few of them, isn't he? Gets past Gergo as well. Gergo must be really frustrated that Gergo may even lose out to Indian as well, but pushes him off and just about squeezes through there. But Gergo again losing places to Epic Vale. So if that's the case, Gareth, Tech Brutal for this almost the second train, the third train we had, could he now jump the cars ahead of him that were leading this Grand Prix? Silo, Justin, Kevin, Andrea, that's the group he was part of. Does that trigger guys come in now? We'll keep an eye on the top group. Silo stays out, Justin stays out, Kevin comes in, and Andrea comes in as well. So keep an eye on these gaps now. Where will Tech come out in all this?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Fana Spinoda does pit as well, as I think does everyone else. They've left it late, yeah. Namsko and Max Bricker deciding to stay out another lap, pushing the tyres a little bit further. But let's go and have a look at where Tech will come out in all this, coming hurtling past down the start-finish straight and massively in front of Kevin Zunneberg, which is good for a Tech Brutal point of view.
Yeah, so clearly undercut is working a trick here. Tech, big old 4.7 seconds between him and Kevin, and it was a couple of tenths, in that first train. So obviously, the undercut is working a treat here. So we've got Adrian, Namsko, Justin, and Silo all yet to pit. Will this trigger what? I assume they'll be coming in the next 2 or 3 laps now, but could Silo potentially lose the lead here to his teammate as they come through the last couple of corners on this occasion? Silo, yes, pulls in the pit, and I can imagine Justin, Namsko also doing so, just to pulls in as well. Namsko and Adrian a bit further back on their laps, but again, the key person to keep an eye on, Gareth, is Tech Brutal.
Yeah, Tech is definitely going to take the lead of the Grand Prix, I believe, here. But they managed to gap 5 seconds to Kevin Zunneberg. And there was just in between them at that point. Namsko decides to continue on. Adrian continues on as well. Where is Silo? Silo's just exiting the pit lane now, and Tech is going to fall behind, and just behind, I think, Andrea and Kevin Zunneberg having a little bit of a squabble. Andrea desperate to make the move, sticking in there. That's very tight through turns 1 and 2, but it's not going to be enough. And through turn 3, Andrea has to concede the attack, and that, I think, has just compounded misery for Andrea, because he needed to be in between the 2 Alpines, the 2 FRT drivers, to have a chance and just breaking away.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, he's almost trying to there, but again, he's going to find it tough to get by now. The only thing to make these guys back together again is both the SCI drivers are coming up to Adrian and Namsko, who seem to be going a bit longer on the tyres. Whether they're going to come in this lap or maybe go onto the soft tyres, I don't know. We'll see as they come around the final couple of corners here. What do both the drivers do? Namsko pulls in, as is Adrian. So Tech and Silo will have a clean air ahead of them, and again, a gap is just going up and up to Justin and the rest of the drivers. So it could be a first 1-2 for the man out. There we go. Silo flies past his teammate, and that could have been what's the word? It could have been preempted there between the drivers, and they've chatted, and they've allowed that to happen.
Oh, Justin has left the session, which is going to be a problem if you're a FRT fan, because it's going to allow Kevin Zunneberg, Andrea and Kevin Zunneberg, for that matter, to go through, and Andrea now has that position that they want to cause a problem to the FRT team, and Justin's internet. That's frustrating for Justin. Better tyres, and would have been in a better position leading that trio, and it's just not worked out. Shame for Justin, as Silo and Tech just continue to pull away.
Yeah, they're in their own world, aren't they? 4 second splits, second and third. They can almost maybe not put it in on cruise control at the moment, Gareth, but it's a case of just making sure that they just consistently lap a good time, and they should, hopefully, well, say hopefully, I'm not trying to be biased, but they should, unless safety car happens, they should be able to hold this lead. I mean, Kevin's trying to close the gap down. It is fluctuating a bit, but we'll see if he and Andrea can catch it. The only problem with Kevin, he's got Andrea hunting him down for that last podium place, so they'll not be working together either after obviously Justin losing out, unfortunately, because of internet issues. But I think the real winner out of all that, guys, was Epic Vale with that early pit stop, has jumped a heap of cars, so he'll be over the moon with that. But Nico Cashman not too far away either. Gergo, I think the most frustrated driver on circuit at the moment, still be stuck behind the Red Bull even after pitting.
Yeah, still stuck behind Nico Castronovo, still in 8th place, and really having a nightmare. But I think if anyone is going to catch the two Shizou drivers, it's going to be Andrea, because, well, we saw in the first stint they were just quicker. They just couldn't find a way through the two FRT Alpines, and again looking quicker again. But I think Kevin is just deploying the ERS at the right points down this straight to allow them to keep the position.
Yeah, exactly. You say that though, Andre is catching. He's catching. Where is Kevin going to put this car? He keeps it on the racing line, and Andrea pushing him through turn 1. Didn't fancy going up the inside there. I'm sure he could have probably made the move stick there, but decided to stay in 4th place. Does he try something different into turn 4 and 5? Maybe no. I think he's too far back at the moment. But Kevin, got to be careful, because the speed gain Andrea had down that pit straight, he's got to make sure he nails the last sector before, and otherwise Andrea will make that move past the Alpine.
Justin's got to be careful when they retake the car, because you don't want to be doing it at a corner. That would be catastrophic for the Alpine driver, the FRT driver, and I think they're going to take over just in the right period of time. But unfortunately, it's going to be in the clutches of Epic Vale with no DRS to help. Justin's going to be in a little bit of trouble, I think, as well, Epic Vale going to be on those older, more worn tyres. Yes, it's only going to be one lap, but it will cost them, and, well, we know all too well how punctures can take effect in this one. As we go back up to Andrea, who goes to the inside this time, has a look, but maybe that is just ensuring that the brakes and the engine, or it's just cooling the car instead of being stuck in the dirty, warm air from the Alpine ahead.
Yeah, I think so. I think I think Andrea definitely the man to get by. That gap has gone up again now. It's 5.2 seconds over between himself and Tech in second place. So yeah, I don't think we're going to see much difference. Much of a move for our first, second place drivers. It's about who's going to take the last podium place here, and can. Justin thankfully back in the session, but it's 3 seconds to Andrea here, and we'll see whether he can close that gap on the driver ahead. And then you've got the queue that is behind Epic Vale here. I say queue though because Newcastle Nova is almost losing out on DRS guys. Got to be careful not to. He's on the very cusp of losing it, but we'll see if he can just about keep within it. He does on this occasion, but sure, if he does make a mistake, Gerger will be right there to try and pounce on it. As Justin, new fast lap of a 14.6.
That is, wow. Justin showcasing why they were at the top of this board through it all. As we'll look through a little bit as Nico Castronovo is struggling through the first chicane. And that's the front end plate off on that Red Bull, I believe. The VNT driver in a little bit of problem. This could be why they're struggling through the middle part of the course. with Epic Vale is because there's no front right end plate. And Nico Castronovo, that is huge.
Absolutely, yeah. It is. I don't know where he's lost that, and when that happened at all. Can't Google was down his left side, wasn't it? And the damage is on the okay, horrible camera angle here, so I can't see. Yes,
Like
on the right. Yes, on the right hand. Sorry. So it couldn't have been when Google went down the inside. So I don't know when that has happened, unless it can happen during coming into the pits, maybe Gareth. But Gergo again, pretty racy once again, and again, is he close enough to make that move? We'll have to wait and see. But again, Newcastle has DRS from the driver ahead, so Gergo is just going to struggle to get by this Red Bull.
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, the DRS is always, and it looks like straight line speed is the way Nico Castronovo has gone, and in the background, Simba Roxwan dispatching and of Fanny Spinoda and Milan trying to do the same thing, and it was very, very close and very, very tight between the two of them, and I think there was a little bit of contact between the Williams and the VMT driver. That's not ideal. I don't think there's any damage to either driver, so they've got away unscathed. Oh no, Fanny Spinoda has front left end plate damage. What is happening to the Red Bull team and the VMT team? They looked so comfortable holding off everyone in 6th and 7th in that first stint, but now they're sitting ducks with that damage.
Yeah, it's that millisecond is so important on track, and excuse me, sorry. Oh dear me. I temper my pretty properly down. Sorry all. Yeah, that losing that end plate is so crucial. Like I said, in that middle sector, so they're just about holding their own for now. But we'll see whether they can, Van der Spuren really in and amongst it in that midfield battle. While Nick Castro's got just about enough pace to stick with Epic Vale, but that gap now it's outside the DRS window, Gareth, so that damage may be coming into effect properly now, and this could finally allow Google to get past one of the Red Bulls.
Yeah, looking at just catching up with the chat, Nico does have damage, Ace, and both VND drivers got damage early on. We didn't see that. That's so assuming that's the reason why they got gapped early on, getting that 6 second or 7/10 of a second gap each time. Every time they got gapped is down to the damage they received, and I'm surprised neither driver decided to go and change the front wing. I know it's an extra couple of seconds on, but surely you'd want the extra pace advantage that you would get out of it in the early stages, but it's allowed Epic Vale to put a 2.3 second gap. That is huge. Andrea's going to be wondering about Justin behind, because Justin is absolutely flying. 1.5 seconds now behind the TRT driver, trying to get back into it. Does Andrea decide to go for a move this time? Goes to the outside down the start-finish straight, and Andrea finally in the podium positions for TRT.
Yeah, great movement. Gergo also doing the same up the inside, through past the Red Bull. I don't think Indian can also follow him through, but finally Gergo gets past Newcastle over here. Fannis Minogue getting past Max also further down, but Indian looking racy behind there. But finally some moves as you get onto lap 22, and Andrea 5.8 behind Tech. I don't know whether he can. I mean, we have seen the fast lap from him, so we'll see whether he can catch up. But crucially, Gareth, Andrea got past him before Justin caught up to that fight, and he doesn't have to worry about looking behind him as much now, and already half a second over Kevin. So Kevin was struggling on these tyres, while Andrea still feeling quite racy. Yeah, yellow flags in the middle sector was McLaren. I think that's Lulu making a mistake up the hill. Lost a couple of paces there. But can't see if there's any damage. Yes, damage to the front wing as well on the right side, Gareth. So didn't see what happened there, but unfortunately Lulu down to 19th there.
Yeah, facing the wrong way, unfortunately, as well. Andrea showcasing their pace, pulling through that lap, as you quite rightly mentioned, Justin. Well, maybe the Jaws music was kicking in, but it's definitely looking racy. But Silo absolutely flying, fastest lap of the race there. Pulled, I swear it said 2.4 seconds over Tech Brutal, but now it's back down to 0.6. So I'm not sure, maybe a little timing glitch there Boyalulu into the pits to replace that front wing. Let's see how that will continue to pop down. It's lap 23 of 33. We're about 2/3 of the way through this one, and these hard compounder tyres still showcasing what they're about. We may see some drivers decide to go on to another set of tyres, but as things stand, it's looking like these will be the tyres that they will be nursing for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think so. I can't see anyone venturing into the pits now unless something catastrophic happens with the safety car. Ultimately, these tyres will get to the end here. Is Kevin close enough? He's sped back up again. Is Kevin close enough for a move on Andrea here as they come down the pitch at the end? I think he's going to be. Andrea goes to the inside as Kevin has the outside here, side by side through turn 1, side by side through turn 2, but the Alpine is strong enough and quick enough to get through and back into the podium places, and this is all going to help Justin and allowing him to catch up and more dueling between these two drivers, and one of them trying to slow down Andrea here to allow Justin to be back involved in this fight.
Yeah, another yellow flag. Is that Ollie Hornby? It is. Ollie's made a mistake into turn 1 on the first chicane. That's not ideal for Ollie, as Kevin Zinneberg, as you quite rightly mentioned, gets back past, and that's well, the Jules music must be even louder because Justin is 1.1 seconds behind Andrea, and it could be crunch time, quite literally, for Andrea and Kevin Zinneberg, with Justin flying as quickly as he is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty interesting as there's the race 6 down now. Justin now he's within DS range of the driver ahead, but Andrea, I think he might be a little bit too far behind on this occasion. He wants to make a very late lunge, but the speed difference here I don't think he's going to be close enough on this occasion to make a move. But Justin is just trying to get back into this. He's now, like I said, within a second of the 2 cars ahead, and I'm sure Kevin can slow Andrea down slightly to allow Justin back through. But further down, Gergo, even though he's got past Nico Castronovo, he's not gapped them at all. Still within the DRS, Nico is, and Indian there can't get through, and then you got just a gaggle of cars all the way down to Adrian in 17th. So you guys, again, stuck in a bit of a DS train, and no one bold enough to make any moves on this occasion. But with only 8 laps left of the Grand Prix, I'm sure we may see the elbows and the risks increase as we come to the end of the Grand Prix.
Definitely looking at Epic Vale, Indian and Simba Rocks 1 for puncture territory at some stage, being on the older lapped tyres, as there goes through through Fanna Spinoda. Quite literally, is Ortiz and Fanna Spinoda battling away. There's a bit of contact and into the wall, and oh my goodness me, that's Ortiz out the Grand Prix. That is huge. Yellow flag, surely a safety car, and things are going to get spicy into the pits for Namsko and Adrian. And my goodness me, lap 25 of all this, as Ollie Hornby going very, very slowly to try and ensure that they don't dispatch of any dirt or anything. But my goodness me, we've got a safety car.
Well, we said don't count out anything, and yes, Silo and Tech leading the way, but ultimately they could be in trouble here with pit stops. God, I don't know, where would Namsko and Adrian pop out here? That will be interesting to see. Safety cars just at the entry of turn 3 here. I'm going to assume it's going to let them go past, but who knows with this game sometimes. So just on board with Namsko, slowing down as they come through turn 3. Safety car's on his right, and he goes straight past it. The safety car, I assume he's going to catch up with the lead now, but I think they had to go slow there. They are being slowed down by whatever timer that they've got. So I don't think they're going to give him any places at all here under the safety car. But this will group everyone back together, and for the likes of Justin and Francis Miller, who've lost connection in this race, so another opportunity to gain places once again. But is anyone not to win a pit and have track position potentially? Top 5 are all in. Epic Vale also in, guys. Just keep an eye on these guys
Surely you wouldn't want that as there goes. Seems like a pretty standard stop. A little bit of holding, maybe Kevin Zinneberg just behind. That could have been a little bit more dangerous there. Hard compounder tyres, everyone deciding to go back on with for the short period of time. Epic Vale aggressive with their tyre choice. So is Gergo, so is Indian. This could be spicy still through... It depends on the strategy they've chosen, or the tyre strategy they've chosen. But it's not over yet. It's not over until... well, yeah, it's just not over until the final lap, I guess.
Yeah, Ollie Holmes had another penalty, unfortunately, for speeding in the safety car. So, in all that, Nance Grenadier didn't gain that many places, I don't think, unfortunately. As Fanas Spinoza got a new front wing, I think he has. Yes, he has. But I assume, where's the other? Nico also has one, so he dropped in a few places. So a couple of moves happened during that pit stop phase, but I'm hoping we should only have 2 laps in the safety car by the time everyone catches up again. Lulu, again, guys, we mentioned earlier about how not quitting. Didn't know what had happened with Callum, but that could have been an option there to try and gain a few places near the end and get points. So it's allowed everyone to group up again, and I'm sure we're going to see an epic restart with, well, it'll be 4 or 5 laps left of this race under normal conditions, so it's going to be hectic to say the least.
That is definitely one word to describe it. It's brought everyone back together here in Barcelona. Gergo, Epic Vale, Gergo and Indian deciding to go aggressive. Can those softs hold? We'll have to wait and see. And everyone else, wow. Could we see something special? Justin will be, pleased about it, because obviously that disconnect for them, as they were back up in the attack anyway, but it means that the 5 drivers that were the top 5 at the start of this Grand Prix are back together again. But Justin will be peeved, I guess, because they are in 5th place. Pits for Lulu and Ollie Hornby there. Deciding that softs probably are the way to go, which may elongate the safety car.
Yeah, I was just thinking that we may have one more lap. For such a might be slowing down there, but I think it's just going through that middle sector. They may be able to catch it up, but I don't think they're going to this occasion. But we may get a restart regardless, because of how close we are to the end of the race here. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, even where they can, they keep those tyres warm. The F1 cars will see far quicker than the safety car, but under these conditions have to abide by the safety car speed here. It's going through turn 10. I think we may see one more, because from memory usually they kick it off around here now. We've got no notification about it coming in, so it looks like we'll have one more lap of safety car running. So we'll get so we'll get 3, 30, 31, 32, 4 racing laps left of this race going.
Yeah, I had to use my fingers to count how many laps as well, don't worry. Yeah, interesting one. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to take victory here tonight with, a short period of time. We'll get racing underway again. Wixel in the chat is saying, on paper, Epic Vale has won this, just if they can actually make the moves. That's a very good point. Epic Vale is the lead soft runner. Those soft tyres won't have had really any use put through them right now. I know it says 2 laps, but if they can get the moves done quick enough, they're on chance for this one.
Yeah, and he's already up 7 places before he started. So if that's Epic Vale, he's had a hell of a race, and if he can nail the soft tyres, Lulu in the pits once again here, trying to extend the safety car, but I think it should come in on this lap now. Yeah, it would be a heap of points for the RSC team, who are in 5th at the moment in the standings. And there'll be, a lot to them. Not to go down in 13th, so only a couple of points for him. But yeah, if you can get past on the free restart Justin and a few of the others, is the podium too much? Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see. But safety car is in on this lap. Lights are out on the top of the car, and Silo will be our de facto safety car here. Lulu should catch up to the back of the train.
Looks like they are indeed. Everyone strap in, get ready. The final few throws of this Grand Prix is going to be upon us. Silo, who's led pretty much every lap of this Grand Prix other than the pit stop phases where Tech had that one. This is going to be an absolute incredible restart. When does Tech go? They've decided to go pretty early through the final corner, and they go, well, powering straight on through, but the all eyes should be on Epic Vale, who's all over the back of Justin as they head on down the start-finish straight to start lap 30 of 33. Justin goes defensive. Epic Vale tries to then go around the outside. There's contact between the two of them, and that could be a scupper for Epic Vale, but driving through the Alpine to get the move done, that is possibly questionable. One to go to the stewards as, needed to get the move done no matter what anyway. Do they dive up the inside into turn 5? They do very, very late through there. Epic Vale having to be aggressive because of the tyres they're on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw some damage fly up through turn 1 and 2. I don't know who that is. And more, I think that's Justin hitting the back of Gergo. Those guys on the soft tyres really pushing and making a ruckus at the front of this pack, aren't they? All getting through. In the end, trying to work his way past Justin as well, and maybe the tyres will just about make it. If I say that, though, they're being really aggressive on the tyres at the moment. But I think Kevin not close enough to the back of Tech here. I think they've run away with it. Someone's made a mistake. Someone's in the wall, Gareth. I think that's Fanny Spinoda in the wall at the exit of turn. Turn 13?
Yeah, Fanny Spinoda. What could have been for the VNT? It is absolutely incredible. But Epic Vale up into third place. Epic Vale is on a charge. Fanny Spinoda. The VNT team have absolutely dropped one, unfortunately, because of the damage they received. But Epic Vale up into third place. And, well, maybe Vixel's prediction is going to come true. But it's you've got to get past two incredible drivers of Tech Brutal and Shazoo Cedring's Silo from the Shazoo team. But they're already Tech is already under pressure from Epic Vale here.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that Epic Vale has got against them is got to do another 2 laps on the tyres. Are they okay to do that? Well, the hard compound tyres will start to come into play now as more laps get put on them. But Tech under pressure here from Epic Vale. They come round the final corner here for the penultimate lap. Tech having defence from his teammate ahead of him with the DRS. I don't think Epic Vale's going to be close enough on this occasion. He's closing very rapidly into the braking zone as Tech losing on his teammate. Someone's locked up there through turn 1 and 2. Epic Vale right on the back of this RB car here. Goes a little bit wider through there, but not close enough on this occasion to be able to make the move. More yellow flags coming out. I think that is just Ollie Hornby retiring from the session, unfortunately. But Epic's got to make the move sooner or later to utilise these tyres.
For those of you that know, Epic Vale and Tech Brutal, possibly a few game cycles ago now, were involved in a championship battle in another league, and they are, back together on track here. 2 completely different strategies on play because of that late safety car due to Ortiz's unfortunate demise at the exit of turn 12 into 13 into Europe car there. But oh my goodness me, Epic Vale still all over the back. We've still got another lap of this one, lap and a bit of this one, Ollie, and Tech Brutal and Silo at the moment holding firm like they have done for the majority of the race.
Yeah, Epic is closer on this occasion. Goes a little bit wider in the final corner. That can compromise some of the speed he's got, potentially. Not closing in on the race leaders on this occasion. Tech the one closing down with him. I think the other tyres down here, more yellow flags through turn 1. Epic looking to close the gap down to P2. Again, I don't think he's going to be close enough at this rate. I think those tyres are starting to feel a pinch.
Definitely does indeed. There's Justin trying to find a way back past Gergo, and that's a shame for the FRT team, who looked so strong through all this, and it just took, I think, the hard compound tyres a little bit longer, like you quite rightly mentioned a few laps ago, just to heat up to get into their own, and the softs maybe now being a little bit worn, let's just say that, but enough of that for now. We're into the final few corners of this one. Shazoo Cedar Igniter's silo has been pretty much impenetrable. Has it ever been in doubt in this Grand Prix? I don't think it has, even with that late safety car. Silo is going to take another victory in his racing career, this time at competitive speed series, and what a race it was for them. And it's, well, an interesting one. Oh my goodness me, what has happened there?
I think someone just hit the wall, but the fact he pulled out his fast lap on the very final lap as well shows that I think there's definitely more in the tank, Gareth. There, that's I had my hands in the air, thinking, "God, what? How fast can he really go then?"
Just love to have seen a set of softs at the end for Silo to see how far he would have gone. But Silo has been absolutely incredible this evening. Has it ever been in doubt? I don't know. I don't think so. Let us know, chat, who you think driver of the day should be. Ollie, I'm gonna ask you as well. I think it's easy to go for Silo, but who would you go for?
Yeah, I think Salo obviously competed the whole way through, led qualifying, and then did well there, and then obviously just led the race. But I think I'm going to give it to Epic Vale tonight, Gareth. Started down in 13th and managed to finish on the podium, so I'm sure he'll be happy with that, and great for the RSC team there, for the Mercedes team.
Let's go down the order quickly. It's Silo that takes victory, and Tech on the podium alongside them with Epic Vale, then Kevin Zuderberg, Andrea Gergo, Justin, Indian, Milan, Simba Roxwan, Max, Nico Castronova, Namsco, Adrian, and Lulu finishing the point scoring. Ziawadi not able to get on the points. Ollie, Hornby, Fana Spinoda, Ortiz, and Callum not able to finish this score. Wow. What a spicy hit to the end of the Grand Prix there, Ollie, with that safety car. It was turning out to be a typical Spanish Grand Prix, with the Shazoo Cedar guys absolutely controlling it from start to finish. But there was a little bit of squeaky time at the end.
Yeah, it got close, and it could have been very different right at the end there, but didn't. The SCI team held their own. I think, like I said, I think they had more in the tank that they weren't showing us tonight. So great win, 1-2 for them, and I think that should jump them in the point over VNT, who didn't have the best race in the world this evening, with both drivers having issues with front wings. So yeah, another podium for them, at least one car has consistently been the podium the whole time. The third win for them as well this season. I think if they can continue getting both drivers up there, Gareth, it should be another title for them.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? You look at it, and Nico Castronovo down in 12th. That was their highest point scoring position for the VNT team tonight, with a lockout at the top for Shazoo Cedar Igniters. Incredible for them, but like you said at the start of the season, start of the stream, sorry, it's only round 4, and plenty of time left to play for this one. Over 11 rounds. Well, 11 rounds exactly, to be perfectly honest. But Azerbaijan next time out, it's a completely different kettle of fish than Spain.
Yeah, that straight that isn't a straight down towards T1 is an unbelievable place to overtaken. We've seen it in the past where it literally goes down to the line. So every 10th counts at that circuit, and safety cars galore with those 90-degree corners, and it is a good race to watch, through the castle, and we do get rain there sometimes as well. So it's all to play for in Azerbaijan next week.
Yeah, I can't. to be perfectly honest, I can't wait for that one. It's a nice little one to watch and be a part of. Even in the commentary side of things, you always get a little bit of controversy. That first sector alone, and then you've got the castle section where one small mistake and you can do a Charles Leclerc, and anything is possible. We will wait just a few more moments to see if anyone will do it. To wait and see how that went for them. But Epic Vale, you've given driver of the day to, which I'm fully on board with. I had to make some risky overtakes, but to make that strategy work at the end was what they needed to do. But you also had Simba Rocks one and Indian. Both were, I think, 18th and 16th, finishing 10th and 8th respectively. So a good result for those guys.
Yeah, I think, like you mentioned, that early pit stop helped them massively. The amount of overtakes at Epic Vale especially, didn't really have to do that many overtakes on the circuit because he had it all done in the pits, didn't he? So he has to be consistent. And like I said, both with Simba Rocks and I can't remember the other driver just mentioned, but going on to the soft tyre worked in their favour. It was risky. You could see, especially on Epic Vale, his car was struggling a little bit near the end, but ultimately, sometimes, especially a circuit like Spain, where we weren't seeing that much. Obviously, plenty to place to overtake, but we weren't seeing that many. A lot of DRS trains, but going when everyone was so bunch together, fresh tyres, they could really make. Cut their way through the grid, and we saw that from those drivers at the very end with those 4 remaining laps we have under normal race conditions.
Let's have a look at the calendar one last time. Unfortunately, we're going to get anyone for the podium interviews this evening. We've now completed 4 rounds: Japan, Zandvoort, Jeddah, and Spain. Next week is Azerbaijan. Then you've got Abu Dhabi, Silverstone, Qatar, Singapore, China, Belgium, Mexico, Texas, Monza, and then Vegas. That's the way it's going to go for the rest of the season. Azerbaijan next. It's going to be, I'm certain, going to be an absolute incredible one from this side of the scene. Ollie, any final words to round out this one?
Another fantastic race in CSS. I wouldn't call it an epic, Gareth, but another great race, and long may the good racing continue in this league. Look forward to Azerbaijan next week. Can't wait, Gareth.
It's going to be a great one. I'm certain for it. If the start of the season is anything to go by. From that, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed this one. We'll be back next week for Saturday for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for the PC side of things, and then Sunday for the console side of things. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.